A trend we're currently seeing in 2024 that's been emerging for a while is that we're starting to see people that may have bought their properties 4 or more years ago, so pre-COVID 2020, where they've purchased a 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom house for roughly $600,000. Now, they've probably had one kid along the way, maybe a second kid along the way, and they're starting to think, right, this 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom house isn't quite big enough anymore. So let's look at upsizing. They go out, they go, look, we love where we live, we love our neighbours, we love our street, we love our area. What we could do, we could add an extra bedroom, extra bathroom on the back, or raise and build underneath, adding those extra bedrooms and extra living areas we'd love to have. They go out, they get some drawings done, some designs, they consult with a few draftsmen, some architects. Then they start consulting with builders, and the builders start quoting back, you know, oh, for that, $400,000 or $500,000, for that, $700,000. And people start going, well, hang on, we have a $600,000 house, we've paid off $100,000, we had a $100,000 deposit to begin with, so we owe $400,000 to the bank. Now, if we're able to add that $700,000 extension, you know, dealing with 12 months, probably moving out and having to rent for 12 months, you know, our property is going to be worth $1.5 million. Okay, so our mortgage is going to be around that $1.2 million mark once they've spent the $700,000. Now they're going to have rent on top of that. So let's say they're renting $60,000. So again, that adds rent. It might blow out a bit longer, the costs might blow out, so it might end up costing them a little bit more. But let's say their mortgage is at that $1.3 million mark. Now, the alternative is their $600,000 house that they owe $400,000 might now be worth $1 million on today's market. Now, the changeover fees, let's say moving, styling, you know, any costs involved with selling, sales agent, things like that, let's say it works out to be about $60,000. So the house that they owe $400,000, they're now owing $460,000, but they can sell for $1 million, which leaves them $540,000 left over. Now, that $540,000, they might be able to go out and buy a big house, maybe the next suburb out, for $1.2 million. So straight away, their mortgage is not $1.2 million, their mortgage is now $1.2 minus the $540,000. So their mortgage is only $700,000. So we're finding a lot of people that are actually doing this. They're starting to go, well, do we upsize our house and have a $1.2 million mortgage, which is probably, in today's terms, $6,500 a month? Or do we buy the next suburb out, a bigger house, or something that's a bit older but a bigger house, and our mortgage is now $700,000, which means we're paying around that $4,000 a month instead of $7,000 a month. And I tell you what, that's a lot more attractive to these people. Now, the people that are doing this, they're the people that they might not be tied to schools yet. They might, you know, love their neighbours and love their neighbourhood, but they've got friends or family a bit further out. And they also understand that, you know, life's not always about location. You might have to give something up to get something in return and have a bit more of a relaxing life without having to spend that massive mortgage. So that's a bit of a trend we're seeing at the moment. If you'd like to have a chat about where you stand, where you might possibly be able to buy, what your property might be worth on the market, feel free to reach out and we can have a chat to you about this scenario in your circumstance.